What's up, video viewers? It's Erin. Thank you so much for watching this video. In this interview with Patrick Bogui, we talk about his grandfather and his grandfather's passing and how that pain birthed inside of him the desire to be a doctor and a violinist. I want you to check it out. I think you'll find a lot of value in it. Make sure you click the timestamps below for the questions you want answers to, as well as if you like it, click like. If you have something to say, comment, and if you think somebody else would enjoy it, click share. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you soon. Episode of Millennials in Ministry. I'm your host, Erin V. Lashley, and on the show today, I'm privileged and very excited to be interviewing Patrick Bogui, who's also known as Dr. Violin. And welcome to the show, Patrick. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm excited.
Yeah. Me too. You know what? I discovered you, Patrick, by browsing Instagram, and somehow I stumbled across one of your videos. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this dude is really, really good. And then I saw that you were on a music video with Israel Houghton, and you did a few other really cool things. Checked out your YouTube channel. You're phenomenally talented and very well spoken. You're very involved in your college and your community. And I really thought you'd be a great person to interview on today's show. So as we get started, I would love to know, a little bit about you, where you grew up, how you got into music, a little bit about your family. So tell us a little bit.
Oh, for sure. Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, all this was said and done, I'm Patrick, so before I'm Dr. Violin, before I'm any of that, I'm Patrick. And and definitely I was born and raised most of my life. I lived in New York, went to elementary school and my first year of high school out in New York, the elementary school.
What part of New York?
Yeah, this is the Bronx. And then for high school, I went to Manhattan, Northeastern Academy in Manhattan. I just did my first year out there, freshman year. And so, yeah, definitely incredible experience. And then right after my freshman year, I had moved to Ivory Coast, West Africa, which is a beautiful country over in West Africa. But the whole music game got started when I was actually in third grade, elementary school. They brought a orchestra program to my school, and my father said, "You're going to learn an instrument," because I didn't get the chance to. And so that's kind of how it happened. And that's how I got introduced to the violin. I can't say why I chose it. They offered the clarinet, the trumpet, the flute, the piano. There was a whole bunch of instruments, but the violin, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I chose that. So definitely something like that. Yep.
That's awesome. I really love stringed instruments, and that is, besides the guitar, I'm a little self-taught there, but that is one instrument I wish I could really play really well, and you do it so beautifully. But even for myself growing up, I know we talked a little bit about this earlier today, but I love music, and I think that's probably why your profile stuck out to me so much too, because you're so good at it, but I'm like, man, and I could see your passion for it come through while you play. I'm like, oh, this dude is good, so
man.
Yeah. But why do you call yourself Dr. Violin? Where does that come from?
Right. So the Dr. Violin, where that came from, really, what I'm doing is that here at university, I go to Oakwood University. Shout out to my university here in Huntsville, Alabama. Just an excellent, I love it. It's a beautiful HBCU. Really, in what I'm studying here, I'm studying biology. I'm majoring in biology because I want to become a surgeon. I'm not sure which type. I'm leaning towards cardiology, but I'm not sure which type. But I have a high passion just for surgery. I love healthcare. I love the ability, just like our Lord did, just to heal, and or to be a part of that healing process. And so I do want to become a doctor, but at the same time, I have this passion for music that I don't want to let go of. And so that's kind of where Dr. Violin came from. A lot of people, they thought it was, oh, you're just trying to be, musicians refer to themselves as doc, like when they're a doc and they're experienced. I'm not that deep. But what I do want to be is a violinist, and I want to be a physician as well. And so that's where Dr. Violin comes from.
That's cool. And tell us the story of, your family member and how you were able to use the lessons you learned from their passing into building the passion you have for becoming a surgeon.
Oh, for sure. Can you see me on the live?
You know what? I can't see you. I was just going to say it's black now.
That is weird. That is so weird. Are we back? Okay.
There you go.
Back. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was about. But really what happened when I was in 8th grade, I experienced my first family loss I still remember the morning. It was a Sunday morning. My mom had called us all into the room, where unfortunately my grandfather had passed away. From he didn't take God rest his soul, but he didn't take great care of his heart. And I remember for me that was devastating. I mean, you hear about death all the time, but when it hits close to home, there's no words to describe it. There's nothing to describe it.
Right.
That stuck heavy in my mind. And so a few years later, when I'm out there, specializes really early. And you kind of faced with that question, bold on, like, what do you want to do? Because from high school, you're learning classes that will, build you towards your career.
Right.
As I prayed and as I pondered, it just dawned on me, Pat, you got to be a doctor. You have to be a physician to help some other eighth grader. You got to help his grandfather come back home. And so that's kind of where it came from. And, that passion has not left me ever since. I'm in my last year of and I'm still pursuing this strong. I still have that same drive, and if anything, more than I had before. And so I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. You know what? It's so funny to me, and I think that life does this to you, but it's interesting how pain will sometimes be the birthing place of your passion. Because even for
That's right.
me, I have such a passion for ministry, but I got really clear about my passion for ministry when my grandmother passed away, and she was a pastor,
Wow.
and she had a love for community in the local, inner city of Chicago, and
Wow.
minorities and all of that,
Yep.
but it's because she passed, I got a real clear picture of what I was supposed to be doing with my life, and she impacts me more in her death than in her living, even though I loved her while she was alive. But it was like what she's done for me in her passing. I pray all the time, like, God, just tell her what she's done. Just give her a message from me.
Right.
I get made fun of sometimes for that, but I also want to know, what has playing the violin taught you in life?
Oh, I mean,
what are some life lessons from that?
There is and just as we met, like there's just so much I can pull from that. These skills are so transferable. There's so much that I can just get in terms of what the violin has taught me. I think the biggest thing that the violin has taught me is just to keep playing the song. What I mean by that is that I love to do is street performing. Like anybody that knows me knows that here in Huntsville, a lot of people know me in the community because I go out, especially to they have this beautiful outdoor mall. I'm one of the registered performers there, and I play. I love it. I love playing outdoors, connecting with people. I love it. But I remember one time I was playing, and I had a semi-scary experience. You ask any string instrument player, and they'll tell you one of the worst thing performances for your string to pop. That's not what you want. You do not want your string to pop. The way string instruments are built, sometimes they're built off of tension, and so when one string pops, a lot of the other things come off. It can also be painful because strings like snap in your face, and they have no regard. They'll hit you like, and it's the worst thing you want. So it's painful, and it makes things come off tune. That's not what you want. But when we relate the violin to life, one of the things that it's taught me is that you got to keep playing the song. There was one time I was playing at Bridge Street, and out of the blue, I remember I was playing some fast-paced song, and the string snapped in my face. But I can't just stop playing at that point. Everybody's looking at me. Everybody's watching me. They want to see what's next. Everybody saw the string snap. But what I had to do is I had to make adjustments. I had to keep playing. I couldn't stop. I had to figure out what it was and adjust to what the situation that was given to me. For me, that's life. All the time, the string snapped when my grandfather passed away. The string snaps, when finances, don't always add up. When you have problems with your friends, string snap all the time. But you have to learn how to keep playing the song. You have to make the adjustments. You got to keep going. And eventually you have to replace. You got to replace the string with something greater, with something that was stronger. Something that won't snap in the future that easily. Which is why I replaced, even the sadness of losing my grandfather with my passion for just for ministry, whether that be in health. Whether that be in music, and so that's one of the biggest things that it taught me. Like, yeah,
that's so good. I love that analogy because it is like life. Like when you're playing and something doesn't go right, it's like, what do? You just keep moving forward. You keep moving forward, and I really think that's what separates people. Is like there are people that get discouraged and stop, and there are people that get encouraged and keep going. And it's the people who keep going that will outlast people that were willing to give up. They're the ones that people look to say something. You know what I mean? To encourage them, to lift them up. So, man, I so admire that example, what you're doing, and I can see that you're living that out, you know, like
nah.
you got that analogy because you live it.
Right.
Yeah. But tell me about the opportunity you got to be in Israel Houghton's latest album on the music video.
Right. Oh man, that was an absolutely incredible opportunity with Israel. I mean, I grew up listening to him. You know, you talk about moving forward. You know, you talk about Lord, you are good.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah. I'm a friend of
things
God.
you know, that's Israel. You know what I mean? And so,
Yeah.
it was early this year in January. I actually I bought the shirt of I went to Atlanta and I brought the shirt of an artist that he was watching Amazing Praise and Worship Leader. I brought one of his shirts and I did a cover of a song in that shirt. He ended up posting that on his Instagram story. And at the same day, he also posted an Israel Houghton cover on his actual Instagram profile. And you know, as the Lord would so have it, you know, Israel was attracted to his page, saw his story. So he saw me on his story and got connected with me. So I'm so grateful for that. I was so excited, and you know, that led to everything else. And you know, Israel and his wife, just wonderful. Genuinely amazing, genuinely kind, and definitely it was an experience like none other. Just to meet them in LA, work on their minister with them, and so yeah.
Yeah. How long did that project take? Like, how long were you in LA for?
I flew out for a day. The recording I did locally. But for the actual music video, that's when I was flown out there for a day. But
that's
for
so cool.
Yeah, so it was incredible.
That's amazing.
Incredible.
It's amazing how social media just connects people like that. Like it wasn't even like he was looking for you, he was looking at something else and saw you on his feed. That's insane.
Right. Oh my gosh. It was it's incredible. It's incredible. And yeah, definitely I was grateful for that opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any other artists that you would love to work with in the future?
Oh, without a doubt. And you know, one of the things that, you know, I trust God and I just play it, you know, I play it by ear, you know, whatever comes my way. But you know, some of my favorite artists, you know, they include Jonathan McReynolds, Evans Green, you know, there's one, you know, even Molly Music, like these are people that I truly enjoy.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's even what's his name? D1. I don't know if you know D1, but he does a lot of Christian hip hop. And he's excellent.
I feel like I've heard of him.
Oh yeah, for sure. He did some work with Jonathan recently as well. But yeah, he's oh man. Yeah, these are some of my favorite artists, you know, to just as people. So just to work with them would be out of this world. Yeah.
That's awesome. So what's one thing you would encourage other millennials who want to make an impact in their communities? What's some piece of advice that you would say to them?
You know, it's funny. I just mentioned D1. Like, he has this mantra that, you know, I absolutely, you know, I love it. It's really simple. He calls it the 3 R's, and he says, you know, put your 3s up and all that. But it's be real, be righteous, and be relevant. I think that's the biggest thing that you know, millennials in this generation can do. Is to be real with our struggles. We're not like this generation specifically. We're not, you know, millennials. We're not like others. We have specific struggles. We're in a specific time like none other. You know what I'm saying? This is a different type of time. I think we should be real with that. You know, we can't like, you know, we can't conform to our. We should be comfortable. You know, but not only should we be real, but we have to be righteous. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, there's this whole saying, you know, holiness is still right. You know, they love saying holiness is still right. But I believe that. You know, I believe that holiness is still right, and holiness is cool. I don't think that is something that's you know, that's boring. I don't think that is something that is, you know, how can, you know, I don't, okay, what am I saying? Like, I don't think it's something that's unattainable. You know, I don't think that it's something that should be disdained. Like, holiness is the new cool. Like, I think it's cool to follow the precepts that we find in the Bible. I think it's cool to respect one another. I think it's cool to go to church. I think it's cool to rely on God for strength, you know, and so, you know, be real, but not only be real, but be righteous. And also D1 goes on to say, be relevant. You know what I'm saying? So never get to the point where you can't relate to people around you, because only when you relate to people around you, that's when you change. That's when you can be a changing agent. And that's when God can use you. So definitely, if I had to give a word, it would be from my dude D1, David Augustine. He said,
shout
be
out to D1.
And be relevant.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if people want to just support you and just, you know, give thumbs up for Dr. Violin, you know, like what's the best way for people to support you, follow you on your journey?
Just, I mean, give me a follow on Instagram and let's grow together. You know, give me Instagram and on YouTube, Dr. Violin. And I mean, that's really it at this point. You know, a lot of people been asking me, you know, when's the album coming out? I don't know. I don't know. Really obedient to where I'm at. Right now I'm in school.
Yeah.
I'm focusing on the doctor part of Dr. Violin. Just, you know, but, you know, I just, you know, I don't plan to let go of ministry, whether that be in, you know, music or health. And so, you know, really just, if you can give your boy a subscribe, give your boy a follow, I think that's the best way we can grow together.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Patrick, for your time in this interview. I so believe in your talent, your gifting. I think the best is yet to come. I think it's just the beginning for you. And I look forward to seeing how your doctorate degree merges with your violin and continues to do that. You're an inspiration to many men, including myself. So thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.